or essentially for what this season means. We have a guest in the studio, Pastor Femi Faseru. He is the National Superintendent of the Kingsway International Christian Center, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
What does Easter mean to you, and what should it mean to Nigerians?
Easter is very, very significant to me as a person because it has to do with the death of Christ. It has to do with the burial as well as his resurrection. Man sinned, and man had to be punished because the scripture says that the wages of sin is death. So man was supposed to be doomed and condemned to death. But Jesus came to come and die for us. He was born to die so that he could be punished for the wrongs of humanity. It's a huge sacrifice, the epitome of sacrifice. Easter is a time to reflect on what Jesus did, the sacrifice that he made. It's a time for us to also appreciate the display of love that God showed humanity. At the same time, God wanted to reunite humanity with divinity. So it's a very significant time for us to sit back as a nation, as a people, and appreciate the sacrifice that Jesus had to do.
Can you hear the rumbling and rolling sound of thunder as expressed by Bishop Kuka, who says the country is being divided by religion and ethnicity?
Apparently so, it seems so, and that is why at a time like this we have to understand that it's better that we use the strength of our diversity and rather than using it against ourselves as a nation. There is one nation, there is one Nigeria. At this point in time, we ought to come together and work together as one. The country is in a state, and it would take Nigerians to get it out of that state. It would take all of us to roll up our sleeves and say we're going to make Nigeria great, we're going to make Nigeria to be what Nigeria is supposed to be, and trying to divide ourselves is not going to help the nation.
What role should the clergy play, looking at the political climate, especially as we prepare for another election, or should they even get involved?
Yes, surely clergy should get involved. There is no way a sector of the nation can build Nigeria by themselves. It's not possible for the politicians to do it alone. It's not possible for engineers to do it alone. It's not possible for bankers to do it alone. There is a role for the church to play. Albeit the church does not have to come govern, but the church should be laying down the principles that will help Nigeria to rise again and be the nation that it ought to be.
Such as?
Such as preaching peace, peaceful existence, such as the clergy making people to understand that this country is a place that we have to be hopeful about. This is worth building. This is our nation. And I want you to also know that people come to the church on a weekly basis. Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. The pastors will do the christening, will do the wedding, and do also the burial for members. Politicians probably have the opportunity maybe once, 2, 3 times in 4 years to do so. So there is a big role for the church to play.
So exactly, politicians 1, 2, 3 times a year perhaps. How do you get them? I mean, these are the people who have that control of power, who can influence a lot in the country to make the country great.
A lot of them are in churches. A lot of them are in churches. So the church will have to do the responsibility of preaching the gospel of peace, the gospel that will help us to build the nation. And of course, we have to pray that the hearts of the politicians will be turned to be able to do the right thing. But the church can stop, the clergy can stop. We have to keep on preaching.
Thank you so much, National Superintendent of the King.